Good evening, guys, and welcome back to SVOR. We are here at the Belgian Grand Prix for round 14. Tonight you have me, SV One Shot, and again, and probably for the rest of the season, you have Light Shark. Good evening.
Hello.
What the hell was that?
I think it's the jingle that they used to use in kids shows, and I just found it and I was like, yeah, I'll use that. Hello, how are we?
There goes the copyright.
If that gets copyrighted, I have no idea what can be and can't be.
Oh, we've been copyrighted before, don't worry.
Oh, I have as well. They just mute it basically usually. Anyway, hello everyone. How are we this fine evening? So, on to round... What round is this? Let me just double check.
Oh, Panda's in the Ferrari, and Fanta's in the Mercedes.
So, it worked out pretty much as you expected. It's round 14 tonight of the SVOR Championship. This time coming to us from my personal favourite racetrack, that being the Belgian Grand Prix Spa-Francorchamps. Looking forward to this one.
And we have two new drivers tonight in AMS Panda and AMS Fanta.
Oh, the AMS boys are coming in force then.
That's like literally half the grid now.
Yeah. Hello, Matty in the chat. Hello, Gorilla in the chat as well. Nice to see you with us. As we're just waiting for some movement, but I think we finally see it as I see an Alpha, well, a bunch of cars actually starting to make their way out. And guess what? Q1 is actually important this time because...
Turn my fucking phone down.
Yeah, turn that down like I did myself.
Sorry, I apologise.
That's alright. As I was saying,
I should turn my phone down straight away first.
Q1 is actually important this time because we have more than 15 drivers. We will have 2 eliminations.
And paper streams out on the mediums already.
Yeah, interesting choice because if you were going to use the mediums, you would have thought you'd be saving them for Q2. But no, paper stream wants to get out there on the mediums. Perhaps maybe just going to try and get a bit of practice in. We'll have to wait and see if he...
Sorry, Karen.
You've just deafened me, he says. And he's calling for 4 drivers to die at Eau Rouge tonight. Well, that's ambitious, but possible. Who else have we got out there then? Ella Despairs out there on the softs. We've got Thanos out there on the softs. Killian's coming out on the softs. Starting to come out now. So, Belgium, it is definitely the longest lap time of the calendar in the drive course, that is.
Really a 1:40.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite the longest circuit. I feel like Baku might actually be longer, but with slower corners, obviously. It's quite close between them in terms of lap time, nonetheless. But yeah, Belgium is a long one. We only have 22 laps of the track here, the shortest amount of laps we have. So actually, I take it back. Maybe it is the longest circuit on the track. So it's only 22 laps, but by no means is that going to be an easy time for our drivers.
Well, Matty will be the first one to set a lap time.
Yes.
Spares him went into the pits. Paper stream just
got out of his way, basically, which I guess he didn't want to even risk locking Matty's lap. Matty being on the softs had a good race last time out at the Hungaro ring. Started last after messing up qualifying, but then went on to finish a very respectable P4. Gorilla in the chat calling for Thanos to win this one. So he thinks Thanos is the favourite, even though Killian is by far and away the championship leader by almost 100 points. So alright, we'll have to see which of those AMS drivers comes up top trumps, or will someone else step up and take the fight to them?
And there's a yellow flag in sector 2.
I believe that's Paper Stream again, just keeping out of the way of other drivers. So clearly he's not out there to do fast laps.
He's invalidated, that's why.
Yeah, but he might just be doing some practice runs on those medium tyres as well. Maybe just trying to get his eye in with the circuit. It is a very tricky track, and one you've got to be awake for.
Quite easy to invalidate here as well. Track limits apparently are really bad here.
Gorilla's calling it to be Richard, Carl, Al, and Southern Pig to die over. Those are the 4 that he predicts. Will
Carl maybe, yeah, because he's still trying to get used to his will.
Oh, this is very handy.
Ramsey's still trying to get used to it.
This is very handy. Bond, Azure has now officially become Bond's SV, which is that's handy. So I can now definitely not forget his name, call him the right one.
It should really be SV Bond, but he just likes to be different.
Fair enough.
But there you go.
So
there's Thanos setting the fastest lap.
Yep, only 4 tenths of a second faster than Matty though. So good lap by Matty to be that close. Next up, Ramsey starting a lap with, I think, Paper Stream just...
And that's Darren gone very wide at the end of hairpin.
Yeah, and he's completely off the throttle now.
Don't know what the name of that is, but there you go.
It might be the corner with no name. I can't remember, but I know this is Poo on. But
Gangs out is invalidated.
SV Richards just starting. Could it be
Killian invalidated?
No, Killian's invalidated as well. Allowed to spare. Just starting a lap. Joe's just starting a lap.
And Bond goes P3.
I think it could be Freddy Boy then, who's just behind Darren, who we know is bad. Ooh, I don't think
that was a bit close.
Just a bit. I don't think that was anything. I don't think Darren did anything wrong there. I think Freddy Boy just was a bit unsighted there. But through Blanchimont, looking steady. He showed some decent pace last time out in Hungaroring, but I think he did need to keep his penalties a bit in check.
Bosch chicane.
Let's see what he does. And goes P2, 43.1. Bond on a 43.6 in the Williams. As Darren sets a number representing 2 minutes 6, but I presume he's going to go for another lap time.
He had a bit of a hairy moment.
Ramsey's next.
Coming out the hairpin.
Coming up towards the bus stop chicane. Taking it quite nice and steady. Power on, but
like that.
Not looking quick though, mine. Certainly a 45.4. So a little bit down.
He is on
Perhaps he's going to go.
He is on automatic gears. He is on automatic gears though, remember?
Yeah.
He's still trying to get used to his wheel. And his spares a spun coming out of the set.
Yeah, so using the wheel, the spares have a spin towards the end of sector 2. That won't help his time.
Killian around the bus stop chicane.
Yep, AMS Killian coming across the line now in the Mercedes. Only a 43.5. So perhaps has backed out of that lap as well.
Last season's champions out on track.
That's being... Is that... Who is
Bradford.
That? Method. Ooh.
No, Bradford.
Bradford. Sorry, I thought you said someone else.
Yep. He hasn't raced for a couple of weeks, so he's been dealing with some stuff.
So he is in the Alpha Tauri then. Currently on an out lap. So he's last year's champion, is he? Okay, well I haven't seen him race yet.
Yep.
So I'll be interested to see just what kind of pace he can deliver. Stand and deliver like a highwayman. Oh, as he gets out of the way. Oh, whoa! And there's a very near spin in doing so. I think a bit too sudden on the power there, Bradford.
He's using no traction.
Yes, you can definitely see that. Ramsey is improving. He's half a second up on his...
Killian's just left.
Ooh.
So I'll get him back in.
Apparently Matty had an invalidation while he was 4 attempts up on his time, so... Bit more pace maybe to come then from that Renault car.
Oh, Fanta's out on track.
As the other Renault across the line, 44.7, moves up to P7. Still way off the pace, most people in the 43s, although it's actually LET Joe, fastest time, first man into the 141s. A very good lap time by the Red Bull. Who else is on a lap then? I think is that Fanster. 43.6. Not bad in that 43 club. As I said, that seems to be the popular time.
And Gangster Al's just lost it. Coming around the first corner from sector 3.
He's on the medium tyres and teams. Bradford's
invalidated.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of invalidations going on here.
Yeah, I told you, it's invalidation heaven here.
Yeah, it's not, I don't think it's the worst track for it. There's definitely worse places for it, but there are definitely places that will catch you out if you extend a little too much. The likes of Eau Rouge, right along whichever you want to call it, whichever part it is. I'm not going to get into that argument. It's a dead mean. Let's just put it that way. But there's also Pouon if you go too wide on the exit of that, on the outside of that, like that. If you go too wide there, you could. He's got a big moment at the
AMS Ducky.
He's got a racing point behind. It's Freddy Ball. I don't know if Freddy is on the lap. Oh, well, whatever's. Well, he's not on one now. He's in the map. Unfortunately, not actually out. He's recovering. Who knows? As Renzi coming back into the pits. Well,
He hasn't lost the front wing either, so GG to him.
Yeah, fair play to him. I think he went in rear first, so fortunately, the front wing didn't take it down. Just Bradford's coming back in, perhaps to get another set of tyres on. You don't really want to waste too many tyres at this stage. We're only going to lose 2 drivers here. At the moment, it will be Gangster Al and Southern Ping, although we're still waiting for times from Panda, Cole, Despair, and Bradford as well. And Alan is only set at 2 minutes for that, so he's probably going to have to.
He's not safe.
No way.
Safe.
I would
No,
say anyone 7th upwards, I think they will be safe. If you're in that 43 bracket, I think that is a safe place to be. I'm going to estimate the car.
Oh, Panda's out.
So Panda out there on. So New Boy Panda, one of the 2 new AMS drivers this week, along with AMS Fanta, who's taking the Mercedes seat.
I like his helmet design as well.
That does look like that. I wonder if it's one of the new ones with the latest podium pass. It does have a nice little look to it.
I think that's last season's actually. I think that's last podium pass.
I have no idea. Honestly, I can't.
I have not played a lot since the set.
Just having a look at the chat.
I didn't even play any F1 during the second podium pass.
I would say
completed the first one.
Yeah, I completed this. I got the first one. I think I just did the second one. I don't know if I'm going to end up completing the third one, but we'll see. Just have a look in chat. AMS Ducky asking if he can join the last minute entry. Maybe next week, but I'm afraid I think it's a little too late now. SVOR powered by AMS. It says Bond.
Yeah, we literally got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 AMS drivers.
Yeah, it does seem to be an AMS takeover of SVOR, but well, we'll see. Panos has retired, so he thinks 42.9 is safe. I would say 42.9 probably going to be safely through to Q2. No need to risk the car. So because that's the thing. If you end up crashing,
Despairs cannot get a lap in, by the way.
he was having problems with this in Silverstone, wasn't he? He was getting a lot of corner cuts and ended up only qualifying 12th or something. And retires as well. So 41. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a safe time to be on. Because obviously, remember, only the bottom 2 are going to be eliminated at this stage. So if you think your time is good enough, there's no point in risking it and risking a crash, which would take you out of qualifying altogether, even if you did get through. But yeah, Despair does seem to be struggling. We've got a few drivers, a lot of drivers to be honest, still yet to set lap times, although Panda I think is about to change that as the Ferrari comes.
Logs up in the bus stop.
Bit of a lock-up, but still looking quick. Comes across the line. 43.5.
43.5.
I think that'll see him safely through to Q2. I think if you're in that.
Hold on an out lap.
I think if you're on that 43 range, you should be fine. Darren has, I say improved. It's still only a 153.5. Still nowhere near the time he needs to do. But he has gone apparently purple in set 1. We got Southern Ping out there as well. The Spares coming out again. Cole is out there on the lap. We'll go on board. We'll stay on board with the Southern Boy. He's coming through the end of sector 2. And onto the back straight. There was the time when you'd have to lift it at times, but you can pretty much take Blanchimont flat out these days. Especially in the drive.
I tell you what, there's like 4 or 5 drivers in this are still here from season 1.
Yeah.
Bradford. I know Brad joined halfway through season 1. You got Richard, Southern Ping. Darren's been here since season 1 as well.
Here 45-0 for Southern Ping. That's not completely safe, I would say. Not a particularly quick lap. Next up is... No, it's not SV Richard, it's Panda. I don't know if he's on another lap or not. He is. He's going faster. My main man Sloppy Cop is in the chat. Hello, my friends. How are we? It's one of my friends. As Panda crosses the line, good improvement, 42.4. Didn't really need to do that, as Killian has also improved to a 42.5. So the AMS boys are starting to flex their muscles up the front, but still not the fastest.
Cole's coming.
Yeah, in the Williams. Here comes AMS Cole. Was the race winner last time.
P3.
Yeah, splits the other two AMS boys of Panda and Killian. Cole obviously race winner last time out in Hungary, and has also taken second place away from Thanos after Thanos did not have a good race in Van Hungary. So Cole might just be riding away from momentum here. It'll be interesting to see who comes out on top between Cole and Thanos this week. He's against Al, I think, just starting a lap. He's definitely under pressure now. As is Bradford, who's coming through Eau Rouge. Despair as well, who's ahead. Those are the three really in danger, although Darren will definitely need to do a faster lap time as well.
As Despair locks up completely into the hairpin.
What I find very interesting, Paper Stream still in the pits. Surely not with enough, you won't have enough time to get around now. So he's going to have to hope that the four drivers behind him make a cock up somewhere. Bonds on the 43.6 is out there as well. It's Matt 43.3 still, but it's not.
Despair goes purple sector 2.
So Despair looking quick then. He's coming towards Roshan. He's managed to keep it clean this time as well. No invalidations yet. As long as he gets Roshan on right, yeah. I think he should be okay then. You'd have to be pushing really hard to get an invalidation. And the bus stops again, big lock up, but no problems it seems. As the Alpha Male now powers down the line and he goes P5.
P5.
That's him safely through then, I would say. Next up, last year's champion, Bradford. See what he can do. He's kept it clean as well. Knows that he has to. Times as he sets. Only a
43.4.
43.4. Maybe took it a bit cautiously just to make sure he got the lap in. But he knows. Next up is Gangster Al. Ooh, 50.
45A.
Right on the bubble for Gangster Al then. So it all comes down to what Darren can do on his final run.
Richard's invalidated his lap.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter though. I think Richard will be through no matter what, unless Gangster Al can find any more time. We'll have to wait and see, but I think Darren is down in sector 1. He is down by nearly 2 tenths, so gonna have to hope the rest of the lap can make up for it. This goes round a slow right-hander and towards, I think, the corner with no name, but I can't remember which one that is. Now to pull on, make sure you don't get too greedy, but make sure you don't go too wide either. I can curve a little bit. The dangerous game is playing there.
Don't want to take that curve all the way around either, do you?
No,
It'll just make you spin.
It will chew you up and spit you out that corner. You have to be so careful.
And I've spun there before.
Oh yes, I think we've all done it at one point. And I'll tell you what, this is a good improvement.
In F2. In an F2 car, it's a lot worse.
Darren is improving. He's 8.5 seconds up on his time. That would be a 45.0 at this stage if he kept it clean. So he might be doing enough here. Could be hard.
Run out of ERS.
He has, but not too problematic at this stage. There's only a little bit of a run down. This is going to be good. Yeah, there's a good lap, 42.6. He's really improved in that final sector, and unfortunately, Gangster Out is not finding improvement. So I believe it'll be him getting eliminated along with the AlphaTauri of Paper Stream, who didn't really set any kind of competitive lap time on the soft tyres. His best lap was a...
He likes to start at the back, though, to be fair, Paper Stream, because he likes to stay out the way. He likes to watch the carnage unfold at turn 1.
It's not the worst strategy I've ever heard of. I think my friend in the chat, Sloppy Bob, will attest to the fact that starting at the back can sometimes be a good thing. In a recent race we did around Brazil, he started, I think, 18th of 18 drivers, and he went on to finish second. So starting at the back can have its benefits. But
yeah, you can pretty much just watch all the carnage unfold, can't you, really, from turn 1. So,
but you've also got to have the pace to come through the field, so we'll have to wait and see if Paper Stream and Gangster have that pace, because they are out at the first hurdle. SV Richard just scraping through. Well, actually, I say that, he was 6/10 ahead of Gangster, so there's not really any danger there. But he is the slowest of those that have got through, so we'll have to find a little bit more pace if he's going to make it into the top 10. At the moment, though, it is LET Joe leading the way, followed by Panda, the new boy Panda, I should say. A good first quality effort from him. And Cole is third, last week's race winner.
yeah, this is the first time we've seen Panda's pace, and to be fair, he's doing quite good, to be fair.
Yeah, colour me impressed.
Yeah.
He's making a good showing for himself. But this is where it'll be a bit more interesting as we move on to Q2. What tyres do they want to start the race on? And what tyres will they attempt to qualify on? And already I can see some medium tyres being prepped. The likes of Panda, Killian, Darren, Fanta, Despair. They're all planning a medium run then. It seems to be the usual thing to try and do, see what pace you've got on the harder compound tyre. But who's going to go out first?
Everyone tries to start a race on mediums, though, to be fair.
Yeah, it's weird. Some leagues you get that. It's usually a league with full qualifying, I notice, that you will see medium tyres attempted to be used, more particularly. In leagues with short qualifying, I think they'll probably either commit to mediums or softs, and then just go with that.
I've seen no one start on hards before.
You can't start on hards anymore. Or at least you can't qualify on hards anymore. You can start on the hard sides if you're outside the top 10, but you can't qualify on them anymore. As you can either take 4 soft stars or 3 softs and a medium set into qualifying. Which I'm not quite sure if I agree with that. I mean, admittedly, unless you're so much faster in the field that it's not funny, you shouldn't really be able to qualify on the hards anyway. So I get why, but at the same time, it did offer an interesting tactic for those who maybe wanted to start on the hards and work their way downwards. Anyway, it is Ella Despair leading the field out once again, followed by Matty, and I believe it's Fanta, the other new boy, behind him, and Thanos just behind him. Thanos on the soft tyres as well, I mean, quite interesting. So he's committing to those soft tyres.
I think maybe he might be doing a sandbag lap on the softs.
Yeah.
We've seen him do it in the past. Him, Killian, they all do like banker laps on the softs.
Well, so far, Killian hasn't come out of the pit lane yet, so maybe saving his soft tyres for later on should he get through this stage. Although I think it would be a shock if he didn't get through here, considering how quick Killian is. I mean, a 96-point gap in the standings kind of speaks for itself on that front. He could probably win the
championship by Japan, I think.
Yeah,
carried on.
give it a bit more races, yeah, unless he had a serious downturn in form, which I honestly don't see happening. He's only been off the podium twice this season. 4th place at Zandvoort and 7th place at Monaco. Every other race.
He only got 7th though because of penalties.
Well, there you go.
He had 2 reset to track penalties then.
So he is very much the man to beat, is the Mercedes AMS Killian. He is out there now on a set of medium tyre, so no anchor lap then for Killian. This is interesting. Gorilla's predicting Thanos. He's still backing Thanos to win this. Paul second and Killian third.
Who do you think's going to go out of Q2?
Q2, I think Richard will be under pressure, as will Southern Ping. Those two I think Ramsey obviously struggling on his new wheel, still trying to get to grips with things. I think he'll be under pressure. Who else could be under pressure? I think Bradford, the last year champion, might have to run a little more than he did in last session. But I think those are the three that are really at risk. Richard, Southern Ping and Ramsey. Those are the three that really...
Despairs does a 1:42.8.
That's a good time on those tyres. That is a very good time on those tyres. I know that for a fact.
And that's the first lap he's completed without invalidating.
No, it's not. He did one last
first. No, I'm on about
on this session.
On his first lap. On his first lap. That's the first one he's done without invalidating.
Go on.
Fanta goes 1:43.9.
Well, I think that puts into perspective just how good Despairs lap was. It's a full second quicker.
Oh, Thanos invalidated.
Thanos invalidated as Joe and I think Matty invalidated as well. Here comes Cole, goes fast.
Cole goes 1:42.4.
Good lap on those mediums again. Cole showing his metal right there.
Freddie goes 3P3.
That's on the soft tyres though. As Ramsey starts the lap, I think 7th Ping on the medium tyres. He's invalidated though, so his lap will not count. Joe has invalidated as well at Eau Rouge, I believe. So it'll be Darren next. In the Red Bull, coming up to the bus stops again.
Killian's just invalidated.
Ooh, that could put him under pressure. Will he do another lap on the mediums? Ooh, he's taking
coming out of the left-hander. Out of the chicane, out of the
only a 52 for Darren. I saw him take a very wide line in bus stops, so he's going for another run.
LET Joe's invalidated as well.
Yeah, I think he did that over Rouge, but I saw he was invalidated by the time he got to the end of the straight. Bond goes P3 on the soft tyres though. Again, 42.9 though, good lap nonetheless. Fanta. Yeah, Fanta, I think easing his way past though. We've got Killian. Killian's validated. So Killian had invalidated. Is he going to go for another lap? The spare keeps out of his way. No, Killian's back in.
Someone's hit the pit wall. Coming into the pits. Because there's half a front wing there.
Well, I suppose it's not the worst place to do it. If you're going to knock your wing, that's the place to do it. Because you can go get him replaced quite quickly.
There you go. Yep, there's Thanos' banker lap with a 1:50 on a soft.
Yeah, that is a pretty slow banker lap, and he'll definitely, if he is going to go on to the mediums, he'll have to hope for a fast improvement. Gorilla in the chat suspects it will be Richard, Southern Ping, Carl, Despair, and Darren eliminated in Q2. Well, I don't think Despair's going to be eliminated because that's a decent lap on those medium
Randy
sides.
just goes P7.
And you're 50 again. So I wonder if he's backed out of his lap. Yeah, I think he has. He's got a lot of ERS on reserve. I think he backed out of that lap as well. Going for it again.
Richard goes purple sector 1.
Ooh, okay.
Oh no, not Richard. Sorry,
Fanta.
Fanta. And he's just invalidated.
Oh,
and he's just invalidated. Yeah.
Panda's invalidated as well. Bradford out there on an out lap. Just about to start. We're getting a lot of invalidations, as you said. It does seem to be catching them out here.
Mainly El Rouge and that left-hander.
Yeah.
After the hairpin.
Yeah. Eau Rouge is definitely. It's so easy to
and
go.
Maybe the chicane at the end of the long straight after El Rouge.
Yeah. And it's also possible at Pouon as well. If you go too wide there, you will get invalidation there too. So, yeah, there are places that this track will catch you out on. So you just gotta knuckle down and try and get the lap in more than anything else. The one to watch at the moment is Bradford. Yeah, he's got for Eau Rouge safety, no invalidation. Gonna stay on board with the AlphaTauri. Bit of a lock up.
Alpha Sector 1.
Yeah, looking good. See if he can find some pace. Need to be a bit off pace, but maybe Watt's just making sure he got the lap in. Yeah, another big lock up. He's locking up a lot. Ooh! Bit of a twitch there as well, but held it. Nicely held. Towards Pooh on now. Bit of curve and get away with a little bit as long as he's not too greedy. He's taking that very nicely, in fact, I've got to say. Now to the chicane. Nice line through there. And now brakes. Down here, and now should be able to take this flat. Time's looking good so far. Not sure if it's going to be troubling the top guys, but it looks steady.
Matty moves out of the way.
Yeah, keeping out of the way of him, and also Killian, who's back out on the same set of mediums, I believe. So, heavy braking for Bradford through the bus stop. Let's see what he can do then. 42.4. It's not going to be anywhere near that. It's only a 44.2. Ooh, I'm not sure that's going to be enough to get through to Q3 once other people start putting the soft tyres on. P6 for now. I did say he might be under a bit of pressure, and there we go.
Panda's the next one.
Yep. And in the Ferrari, coming towards the bus stop. It's going to be a few seconds up on what Bradford.
Matty retires.
Oh, where's that at? That's in the pit lane.
He's retired in the pit lane.
As Panda goes
P4.
P4. So why's Matty retired in the pit lane then? Because he's now going to have to start P15 then. No time to set. That's very strange. Both Freddy Boy and Ramsey going slowly. Freddy Boy just starting a lap. Very odd, wide line for what he's done there. Very strange. But here's the man who was the fastest in Q1, LET Joe, on the medium tyres going up to the bus stop chicane. Firm braking. Looks good. Unsteady. And he comes across the line now and goes fastest of anyone. That 42.2 on a medium.
What is the fastest lap record around here?
I'll have a look. Spa from Corstron. Lap record. It is Lewis Hamilton in the W11 with a 141.2. That is the lap record. 141.25, so it's still a second off of the lap record. Then we haven't really seen the best out of the soft tyres yet. So I think we could see it in Q3, but still a long way to go then. Freddy Boy is coming around, I see. I think that's Panda going into the pits as Darren is coming across the line though. Goes P6 on the mediums. Will that be enough though? The spare has retired in the pit, so he thinks 42.8 is safe, or just doesn't want us on the softs, one of the two.
141.2.
Yep, that's what Lewis Hamilton said. And
Might be able to get it in Q3.
yeah, definitely. Matty's saying he refuses to start on the soft tyres, so he would rather start 15 on fresh tyres than start on the soft tyres, which I find interesting because I feel the soft and medium strategy is still very viable here. But that's his prerogative.
Too, and he just lost
big
it.
spin for Rich, and his tyre is off. Oh, now that is a big crash. And the flag will obviously be deployed there. That's unfortunate for Richard. Very unfortunate.
Caught the grass too much.
Yeah, as Panda retires in the pit lane.
Feels like he done enough.
1-3-0. Is that going to be that? Oh, I don't know.
And Thanos goes P4.
Good lap by Thanos. I'm not sure Panthers that will be enough. Once guys like Freddie and Fanta get there, and Bradford maybe on the softs as well, they could be. I think Panda could be under pressure here. You already know Richard and Matty are out now because of the crashes / retirement. So Joe retires from lead and looks to be, at least on pure pace, the quickest man out at the moment. Although we maybe haven't seen the absolute best of Killian yet.
Darren feels like he's done enough.
Okay, so those two are very.
So does Bonge.
The Bonge retires well, 42.9 on the soft tyres. So Darren and Panda, very similar lap times. As Southern Ping has retired, and that's in the pit lane as well. So Southern Ping doesn't want to try the soft tyres. Best, he's going to be home. Well, best to be P12, but worse, it could be P13. Unfortunately, I don't think Ramsey's going. He's just abandoned Eau Rouge and doesn't have enough time to go Ramsey first seat then. So it's down to what Freddie Boy do then. So who can drive it? I think it might not be a bad place to start mine, P11.
Fanta pits.
And that's interesting. I wonder if that's tactical by Fanta. Bradford is going for it. He's just got enough time to start the lap. Now, Freddie Boy might not make this. No, he's not going to make this. Unless the timing's a bit glitched. I'm sure Freddie Boy... No, I don't think he did make it. So Freddie Boy has to hope his time is good enough now. In fact, though, Fanta's retired, so I think Freddie Boy will get through. Randy can't get through. It's all down to Bradford then. Can he get through on the soft side? 6 tenths of a second up, mine, so if he keeps this pace up, he certainly will. A bit wide there, though. Another big lock up. It's locking up a lot here, has to be said. He is the last man on the track. Will he dislodge AMS Fanta and get in the top 10? Will he want to? That's the question. He knows he's 11th.
To be fair, he might be a little bit rusty though, because he hasn't raced in a couple of weeks. Right.
Yeah, he does look as though, because obviously he's saying he's a champion from last season. His pace looked a little bit off compared to the AMS boys, but he does look smooth. So I can see there is. Oh, and he's about. And he's not happy. You can tell by the steering wheel he's angry at himself for that one. But it could be a blessing in disguise for Bradford, as it means a P11 start and the highest position for those that get the fresh tyre choice. So may not be the worst thing in the world for Bradford. But it does mean he is eliminated at this Q2 stage along with Southern Ping, SV Ramsey, SV Richard and AMS Matty. Those are the 5 drivers eliminated. Fanta just scraping through on the medium tyres. In fact, the only 2 that are on the softs into the top 10 are Bond and Freddie Boy. Everyone else has got through on the medium tyres, so Down and Panda did make the right call retiring. But there we have it then.
Brad to retire.
Yeah, and we'll be able to move on.
Very good.
Yeah, 1 dead, not at Eau Rouge. Indeed.
Bit of an odd place to die, though, isn't it? Really.
You'd be surprised, honestly, because that, especially, like, I've seen a lot of people succumb there. I've succumbed there, especially in the wet conditions. It's so easy to make a mistake on that corner. It's a deceptive little blighter, is that corner. You don't think much of it.
Take too much grass, and that's just going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, not just the grass, even the curb can car if you get too much of it. That is a very deceptive corner. Anyway, we have our 5 eliminations then. Bradford, Southern Ping, Ramsey, Richard and AMS Matty eliminated in Q2. Let's move on to Q3 then and see just what kind of pace these boys have. Most of them only been on the medium tyres, so maybe could we see a 41-2? Could we see Lewis Hamilton's record smashed today? We'll find out soon enough.
And that was set this year as well.
It was, yes. Just pipping Sebastian Vettel's time last year, or the 2019 it was, yes.
And that's Killian and Fanta straight.
Yeah, Mercedes not messing about, but I get the feeling the Alfa Romeo boys want to be over. No, Alonso again, and doing soft tyres on everyone this time. Harder ones to be used now. So let's see just fix these boys out. Oh, well, it's already in validation for the spare, but I bet it's okay on the outlet. He at least knows what not to do. The spare on a good.
I hate it when it gets rid of everything on your screen.
Yeah, it's a bit irritating, isn't it? The spare, of course, only done 2 races so far in the season, which is last 2, and he's finished 3rd in both of them. So, consistent podium finisher then for the spare. Can he make it 3 for 3 today? We'll have to wait and see, but competition looks fiercer than ever with 2 new boys, Panda and Fanta, mixing it in. So, well, look at that. Half of the drivers in this top 10 are AMS. Panda, Cole, Killian, Fanta and Thanos. But none of them have been topping the time sheets. It's actually been the Red Bull of LET Joe who's been topping the time sheets so far. He's looked the man to beat around Spa. We'll wait and see if anyone can change that in Q3. But who do you think is going to be on top?
Funny taste. It's hard to say really because all of them have been quite quick to be fair.
They have very much so.
But I'm going to go with Panda.
Do you think Panda's going to take a shock maiden pole position on his debut in SVOR? Oh, cool. We'll have to wait and see just what he can do. But as we stand, LR Despair, the first man to start a flash, with them will be Alpha. Then he powers his way down to Eau Rouge and Relelon. Much better.
I gotta admit though, El Rouge is really hard on a controller.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I haven't been a controller player since the 2017 game, I think. I do still remember it being notoriously difficult then. And I bet it's only gotten harder with how the game's evolved. Oh!
And there's an invalidation.
Validation for Despair goes too wide at the exit. Very easily done. So next up, it is the championship leader Killian in the Mercedes. Love the end races and helmet he's sporting. Let's see what he can do, powering his way down towards Q1. Have we seen the best of Killian so far? That's the question. I don't think we've seen the true. I don't think we've seen the Killian that has won almost every race so far yet in this qualifying session.
There is some tracks that he said that he doesn't like. So
now, is this one of them? That will be interesting if it is, but we'll have to wait and see. Having raced alongside against Killian once before, I can attest to just how quick he is. But he comes through Blanchimont, looking steady. And what did he do? He did a 42. No, he did a 43. What did he do in Q2 on the mediums? I think it was a 42.8 or something along the lines. Comes across the line now. I tell you, it's only a 42.2. That's not as quick as I was expecting. Thanos 42.4. Here comes then the man who has been setting the pace ablaze in the Red Bull. LED Joe comes towards the line now. Well, look at that. Good.
Oh,
and what
3/10 off of Lewis Hamilton's time.
Not bad at all. 43.1 set by Fanta. Here next up is Freddy Boy in the racing points. 43.8 slow total so far. Darren's back into the pit. Panda will be next then. Coming across the line now. 42.4. Just
3.
nips ahead of Thanos. Bond has invalidated, so he won't be setting it up this time. We haven't seen that from Cole, Despair, or Darren yet either. Despair and Darren, I believe, went back into the pits. Cole, I don't think even came out.
No, he hasn't come out yet.
Perhaps he only has one set of tyres left to do it on then. I'll tell you what, Spare not hanging around, he's straight back out there on another set of softs.
Could be the same set of softs.
I feel like you wouldn't have enough time to get back if they were, but we'll have to wait and see, obviously, what he does. We assume Killian's going to come into the pit. Bond's going for another lap. Yes, he is. The ERS is turned up. As Killian comes back into the pits. And I think Thanos is going to follow him, as is Joe. And Fanso as well, I believe. Eddie, I think, was trying again, but has invalidated his time.
Bond sets a purple sector 1.
Okay, so Bond is the one to watch then. Let's see what he can do. Remember, he really needs to be high up the grid as he can be, because he is on the soft side, whereas most people around him will be starting on the medium side. So he needs to be as high up this grid as he can be to make his strategy work. Let's see if he can find that little bit more pace than he had in Q2. He's taken Paul on very well, very good, committed turning in. Apparently, according to Matty, Killian is learning no line, so that's why his pace might not be quite as strong as it has been. Having raced against someone who has bombed to no line in this game, and I tell you what, there's a guy called Jolly who was an absolute dominant force in 2019 in the league that I raced in. He's gone no line in this game. He is not the same driver quite. It may not be just be the line, but it can affect you. So that might explain why Killian's maybe not lighting up the timesheets. He's still looking quick. He's still P2. But not challenging Joe as Bond goes
42.7.
42.7 for Bond, goes P5. Bad might hope for a bit more. He's got time.
Purple sector 1 from Despairs.
Okay. So we'll go on board with the Alfa Romeo then. Got to try and keep
a little bit twitchy coming out of there.
Yeah, well, I think he was aware of what happened last time, and I think tried to take a slightly different line. Might be why. But so far, no invalidations, looking good. Looking solid and very composed into this chicane, right and left. A little bit understood, you can get away with that if you just take it right. And now, yes, don't take too much of that curve, it will invalidate the lap if you do. It's looking like a good lap so far, it's fair. And he powers down towards Blanchimont. I think you'll have to hope this is right, because I don't think he's going to have enough time for another one. This could be the Spare's last gambit in this session. And comes towards the checkered flag now. Goes P2.
P2.
It's a good lap by Despair. Needed it. He's not going to have enough time to get back and put another set of tyres on. So that is pretty much Despair's quality over. Now, can anyone challenge him? That's the question. Bond might have enough time if he's quick. Going to have to really be quick. And maybe hope that Cole doesn't get in his way, or maybe Cole...
He's got a speeding in the pit lane, by the looks of it. Just absolutely powered his way down to the pit lane, went over the line and just cut him down to 50 miles an hour.
Luckily you only get warnings for it in qualifying. You don't want to be doing that in the actual race. And it does look as though these drivers are leaving it to the absolute last moment they dare, but I see movement in the Red Bull garage.
Darren.
No, yeah, it's Darren, yeah. Darren, the first man to blink then. Still yet to set a time, so pressure might be on him. His paces look solid, maybe not quite as quick as Joe, but he still looks a potential top 5 candidate as Darren. Obviously former AMS himself, so he knows exactly what he's up against here.
God damn it, Bond.
Only the best time game strats here. Only the best time game strats.
Cole's now finally out.
Yeah, Cole's coming out. I June Bonds is going to follow him. The two Mercedes
Both
boys
Mercedes are out as well.
and Bonds following them. I think they will all have time as long as they don't dilly-dally.
And I think Despairs has just run out of fuel.
As I said, I think Despairs' quality was over anyway. He has nothing left to give. And into the pits he comes. But Despair will now be hoping that no one can go faster than his 42.0 lap. It was a good lap, but it's all he's got to give.
And Darren's just lost it.
Ooh, now as he damages his wing, no, looks okay.
No, he did a half spin.
That's alright.
His tyres will be red hot though.
Yeah, but I suppose you don't need to worry about looking after them in this section. As long as he cools them down properly, he should be fine. And yeah, I think he was taking it a bit easy on the exit of Buon. Now he's getting back up to speed. Panos leading Joe. Meanwhile, he's looking very congested behind Darren. Surely they're going to have to start backing each other up a little bit as Darren himself is going a bit slow. Just preparing, maybe cooling those tyres down as you said, but he's going to have to hurry up because Panos is starting to close in on him. And off we go then. The final laps are underway then as Darren comes around the bus stop. And now Power's down towards the source. That is the source, isn't it? Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I have no clue. I know El Rouge and Blanchimont, that's it.
Let me just double check. Yeah, it is the first one, is it? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that is the first one. Is the
quali over.
So quali over for this
qualifying.
Yeah, checkered flag is now out, so everyone's now on their final lap. So it's do or die for these guys. Is anyone invalidated? No, they're all clean, kept it clean so far. Which is good to see. So who will be on pole position? Joe looks to be the favourite at the moment, but still could change. We still yet to see what Cole and Darren have. Panos looking quick as well. As we said, he's starting to close in on Darren. Might get a nice little toe down Blanchimont straight if he gets a bit closer. Purple for Darren. We'll have to wait and see if it is an actual purple. But here we go then. Down towards Blanchimont.
Thanos has been validated.
Oh, that could be crucial for Thanos, and he backs it out to make sure he doesn't get in Joe's way. That could be a big mistake for Thanos. He could lose a lot of time doing that. So here comes Darren then across in the line. 42-1. P3. Next up then is current pole sitter Joe. 41-0. There goes the lap record. 41.5 for Cole. 42.1.
Panda goes P5.
Panda 42.7.
Cole goes P2.
41.7 for Killian.
P3 Killian.
Good with that. Oh, Phantom lost at the final corner. And Bond is coming back into the pits. So I believe that's probably over. And it is LET Joe with a fantastic 141.0. The lap record smashed by the Red Bull driver there. 41.2 is the real-time lap record set by Lewis Hamilton's W11 Mercedes. And Joe has absolutely smashed right through it. 41.0. Half a second near enough clear of second place Cole. While Killian, despite the no line, goes a very respectable P3.
Cole's got no line either, by the way.
Ah, interesting. But perhaps Cole was maybe a bit more used to it than Killian, perhaps.
No, he's literally just switched to it.
Ooh.
He's not long just switched to it.
So maybe a bit more naturally able to deal with the no line then. We'll have to wait and see, obviously. But I think Despair will be relieved. He only lost 2 positions in the end, so he did set a good lap in the end to go P4. Darren P5, New Boy Panda P6, Thanos, he might be kicking himself at that. He probably had a bit more pace in that final run, but he validated Freddy Boy P8, Bond P9. Remember those two will be starting on the softs, so I think they won't be happy with 8th and 9th. I think Vanta will be really annoyed, losing at the final corner, and he will be relegated to start this race at the P10 position. Arguably the worst place you could start a Grand Prix. But there we have it then. There's qualifying all over and done to the 22 lap.
We got a 5-minute break first though.
But yes, of course, 5-minute break. So we should be going at 9:05. So
1 minute, I'm going to pop for a fag quick.
Yep, so he's going
for a cigarette quick.
He's going for a fag. If you want to do the same, if you want to get some popcorn, get a drink, now's the time to do it. You've got 5 minutes to chill out, as I'm going to chill out for a bit as well. Just stretch a little bit. That was quite an interesting session. Joe looking quick. Mind you, he looked quick in Silverstone last time I saw him, and it didn't quite pan out for him there. So he knows qualifying is one thing, race is a completely different one. So I'm just stretch my arms a little bit. But who do you have? Who's your money on then in the chat? Who do you think's got this race won? Being quick in quality is one thing. Being quick in the race is a completely different thing. I hope you're enjoying the show so far. Looking very, very interesting. So far, I'll be interested to see if Joe can hold on to his lead at the start as well. I do apologise for the dead air. Oh, that Bond SB, he is going to pull something out, bobbing my car out of the barrier. Oh, Bond. You never know. I don't think starting on starts is necessarily the worst thing in the world here. If you can get a good start, you never know. You could be in the mix, and it has to be said, fortune has definitely favoured you in the last couple of races, especially with that win at Silverstone. So, never know. I know what you feel like, to be fair. This is my personal favourite track, but it doesn't seem to. I don't think the feeling's mutual because I've never, on this game definitely, just haven't had any kind of luck here. I've had 2 league races here. The first one, it started to rain. I picked for Inters, and it wasn't wet enough rain, and I fell down the field. Second league race I did, it started to rain. I chose not to pick for Inters this time. It was too wet, and I fell down the field. So yeah, I don't have much luck at this track as much as I absolutely adore it. But no threat of rain, supposedly. Obviously, we don't know if Codemasters can be entirely trusted on that front. But yeah, it looks as though we should be in for a dry race. So we'll see just how much pace these drivers truly do have in the dry. There are reports suggesting there could be rain. Exactly, you never know. A few insider scoops, perhaps sensing the rain could still be a threat to watch out for. I'll wait and see, of course, but who knows? We'll just be watching and waiting on the skies.
There we go.
Welcome back on top.
Yeah, I can't smoke in my room, so.
Oh, that makes sense. That's fine.
I can vape in my room, but I just can't smoke in my room.
Fair enough. I don't do either, just don't have to worry about it, but that's absolutely understandable as it looks as though we are just about getting ready then as the driver's ready up. So I think you've timed your return perfectly.
Yeah, I've had to go back to smoking because I'm run out of vape juice, so I'm not going to get paid until Friday.
Yeah, I suppose that works as an excuse. Fair enough, fair enough. So, just about to get underway. As they
Apparently, Joe beat the SVOR record as well.
yeah, ooh. So
By
Joe,
2 seconds.
so Joe very much the one to watch, and starting on the mediums as well. In fact, top 7 drivers all starting on the medium tyres. So as I said, Freddie Boy and Bond, the two that got through the top 10 on the soft. So I have to hope that strategy works out for them, but we'll wait and see on that one. Banter P10 on the mediums, then outside of the top 10.
Matty's starting on hards.
Ooh, so Matty down in 15th place, starting on the hard command tires, going very different to everyone else then. We've got Bradford on mediums, Southern Pig on mediums, Ramsey on the softs, XP Richard mediums, Gangster Al mediums, and Paper Stream going aggressive at the start on the soft tires. So that's an interesting call by Matty, because as far as I can work out, the hards shouldn't really be necessary here. Mediums
Not in a 50%, no.
No, mediums are soft is usually more than capable of doing it, or especially on fresh tyres. So either he knows something we don't, or he doesn't trust his tyre wear. One or the other. But we'll wait and see. Being a good call, let's see. Or if there's a threat of rain, yes, he did say there was a report suggesting there was a possibility of rain, that he could go all the way till those rainstorms hit. We won't see, but
Spa in the rain is a git to deal with.
Could not agree more. It is definitely interesting. I think it's the nicest way I can put it to race this track in rainy conditions. Ellipsis way I can put it. As Joe still leading them around on these medium tyres. He does look to be the man to beat here around the Spa-Francorchamps track. But Cole and Killian, they were obviously racing for the win last week in Hungary. They'll be just as eager for another win. LR Despair was on the podium as well. As I said, 2 races done, 2 podiums scored, both on 3rd place. So I think we'll be hoping for another one, make it a hat-trick. We'll find out soon enough. Oh, there's Despair had a big moment. Weirdly. Fortunately, I think the car's ghosted just before.
Yeah, the AI took over just as he spun.
Which was fortunate. If any, well, it might help his tyres at least. They'll be nice and toasty now. As they all line up then, as Paper Street, the last driver to slot in, alongside Gangster Al at the back row. There we go then. So, ooh, that's a terrible camera. I hope they give me a better one. No, they're not giving me a good one here. Oh, no, Killing gives you one. So 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, ready! And they're off. Here we go then. We're off and running as Joe's got a good start. Killian's got the better start over Cole. They're side by side going into that source. Was the contact? No, they've taken it quite well there actually. They've kept it quick. Killian has got the better of AMS Cole there. He moves up to P2 then. Cole down to P3. Ignore what he's saying. Gangster out has not been completely unsafe. There's been a crash.
And
Crash at O'Lou's, Bond and Freddie Boy. Virtual safety car deployed. The 2 drivers that started on the soft tyres in the top 10.
And that's near enough a Hubert. Just saying. No offence to it, but that's nearly a Hubert.
And it was a racing point as well. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good. Oh well, fortunately Freddie Boy will still be with us. God rest your soul, Antoine. But virtual safety car deployed, and well, it's already ended, so that was quick. So no hanging about there for the virtual safety car. And I tell you what, Darren has got damaged. I think he's falling down the order very quickly. Let's just have a look. No, looks to be okay. Seems like there's any damage on that Red Bull. So why has he dropped down so suddenly?
Fanta with a 3-second time penalty.
Well, that was
already.
Well, that was very quick. We haven't even done one lap of Fanta already on his first penalty. But that, I think that might just set the tone a little bit for what we could expect today then.
Yeah.
After the end of lap 1 then, as we come towards the bus. The game.
Spares is trying to go around the outside.
Oh, that is a bold move by Despair on Cole. He's made it stick. Fair play to him. Moved up to P3. That was a very bold move, and he's made it work. Great move by Despair. As we move on to lap 2, not lap 3. Ignore that. So Joe's lead extends to just under 2 seconds. Despair now chases down Killian for P2. Despair seems to have the teeth between the nail between his teeth, or whatever that saying is. And this is interesting as well, because now it's Thanos and Cole, the two drivers racing for P2 in the standings, side by side with each other. Well, near enough anyway.
Fanta pitted.
So Fanta, yes he did, as did Gangster Al as well, so he got some damage at the start. Darren still at the back, not really making any kind of impression on Bond ahead of him. Maybe there is some damage we just can't see on that Red Bull. Andy's had a good start. He's up to, he's up to 8th. Bradford is up to the 7th place. Remember, he started 11th. So he's had a good start as well. He's chasing down Panda, who started P7, I think it was.
Joe's out of the ERS.
So he has been pushing like... Joe's out Joe's got plenty of ERS.
That's glitched.
Yeah, Joe's...
That's glitched.
Yeah, Joe's got plenty of ERS on my screen. He's got plenty in reserve.
That's glitched for me then.
Yeah,
lovely.
I'm just having a look. I would say it's actually Despair and Killian who have got the least of the top 4. Cole's still got plenty in reserve. Thanos has got a lot still in reserve. Panda's got a half. Yeah, that's very weird. Because Joe doesn't even...
There we go, back now.
Yeah, fastest lap of the race then for Joe, and still plenty of ERS. Despair. 2-second gap he holds over the championship leader Killian. He has looked to be the man to beat so far as Joe, and at the moment that doesn't seem to be changing. DRS is now enabled, and Despair is not within range of Killian here. He might find himself under attack from the Williams Salt. Here he comes. Williams closing. He goes up the inside. Ooh, Despair defending as he dares. He's done very well though, actually. Just Cole off. I think that was on the limit of what was legal, and he's done very well there.
Yep.
While Matty, on those hard tyres, he's up to P9, so he's had a good start from 15th on the grid, behind his teammate Ramsey.
Brad's up to 7th.
Yeah, from 11th on the grid. I did say that wouldn't be necessarily a bad place to start. He's on the freshest tyres of anyone around him now, apart from, of course, the two Renaults behind on softs and hards. They're on fresh as well. So the 6 drivers ahead of Bradford, all on slightly used tyres. So be interested to see if he can make any kind of progress on Panda ahead of him. As Darren, meanwhile, has just passed Paper Stream for 13th place as he aims to...
Let Joe's got a 2.6 second gap on Killian.
He is looking absolutely unbeatable at the moment with Joe. He really does look to be up 1 with this Spa circuit. He's like Kimi Räikkönen in his prime right now. And, well, here we go. Is he going to set another...
Oh, that's a bit questionable from Cole.
What happened?
Tried to set... To be fair, Despairs didn't leave him any room on the inside. But
one way or another.
that'll probably get sent into the stewards.
Probably. We'll have to wait and see what they make of that. What it has done though is Cole is now not in DRS range of Despair. Thanos now pressuring Cole for P4. Despair is in DRS range of Killian as well. So those are the two battles going on. We've also got the Renaults close together. P8 and P9, but Matty not going for an overtake just yet. Perhaps doesn't need to. Maybe just using Randy to pull him along a little bit. And of course on a much quicker set.
A lot of lockups going into the hairpin there.
Yeah, it is a very, because of how it's downhill, I think it's a very...
Thanos with the 3 seconds.
So that's the first penalty for Thanos. Because it's downhill, it's very easy, to brake a little heavier than you maybe need to.
Richard with the 3 seconds.
Yeah, so we've got 3 drivers already on penalties. You're not the only one who called the cue there moment. Gorilla did the same thing. That is SV Richard. He's losing places. He spun it at the exit Puon. He recovers. I don't think.
Bradford with the 3 seconds.
And Bradford gets one as well. We'll have a look on board with Richard. Did he get any damage? I'm going to show me the wing.
Yeah, he did. He did. He's missing left
side. Yeah. So he will probably have to pit.
He's going to have to pit.
And he stayed out Faz's way. That's on the recovery drive. So that 5 Joe's lead extended even more. It's now nearly 4 seconds over AMS Killian, who meanwhile finds himself under pressure, I think, from the Alfa Romeo of LR Despair. Has Despair got enough straight line speed, or does Killian have him covered? I tell you what, neither of them have much in the way of DRS. Killian's got just enough though. Hold him off.
I think Despair was a little bit too far back anyway for a move.
Just a little bit.
Matty's about to overtake his teammate. Or tried to.
Yep, goes on the outside of Ramsey's. Ooh, I don't think that was Matty's fault. I don't think there was contact there. I didn't.
And Fanta's retired at Eau Rouge.
Eau Rouge, that's the crash, yes. Crash at Eau Rouge for AMS Fanta, so a difficult debut for the Mercedes there. It's unfortunate. Now, will it be a safety car? Doesn't look like it's coming out. No, seems to be a...
Oh my god.
Yeah, very well. Yeah, Eau Rouge catching a couple of people out here already then. Freddie Boy got caught out as well, as did Bond, although Bond is still racing, of course. Richard was caught out by Puon.
Panda with 3 seconds.
Yeah, so he's got one as well.
Is he up to 6 seconds now?
Indeed. So he seems to be struggling with the...
Hang on.
Oh no, he's still on 3 seconds. He's just got one. Bradford's got which. Well, I think Phantom might have had one as well, but he's obviously out of the session, so that won't matter anymore. So gap stayed consistent this lap. Joe 3.6 now has actually lost a little bit of time to Killian, who in turn has taken Despair's DRS, correct? In fact, they're all kind of shaken.
Despair with a 3 second.
Oh, so that's his first one. I think I'll be impressed if any of these drivers don't have a penalty to be like by the end. As Ramsey to enter the pits after his earlier contact. Like I said, I'll definitely defend Matt on that one. I didn't see any contact between the 2 Ramseys. I think Ramsey just got a bit too much wheel spin, which is unfortunate.
Southern Ping behind Darren. Bond behind Southern Ping.
Yeah, close little fight then. This is for P9 and Dak Bonds having a look. Close enough really outside. I think Southern Ping, I think it's actually Darren has just passed Southern Ping. Remember, he is on the recovery drive after his poor start. And now I think Southern Ping has got his mirrors full of that Williams of Bond, who's also looking for a recovery after the incident at Eau Rouge. Oh, but Southern Ping's losing it! He's lost it! Oh, well caught. Very nice Tokyo drift stuff from Southern Ping.
He's quite a little bit ahead of Paper Stream though, so he's alright.
He's okay, yeah, you can keep going. I'll tell you what, that was very impressive.
Cole's back in DRS range of Despairs.
Yeah, there's a load of Despair. Dropped off of Killian and is now falling back into Cole's clutches. Thanos is also dropping off. I think the top 6 are all pulling away from Bradford, who's kind of on his own at the moment, P7.
Darren with a 3 seconds.
Thanos is in the mix. That's interesting. This is
He's going to do the undercut.
He's
going to do the undercut.
Yeah, hard compound tires going on. This is not no wing change over. This is a flat stop. It's a very interesting call by Thanos there.
Undercut.
That's the only thing you can be thinking of. Yeah, it must be, but if the guys can extend their slicks to go on the soft tyres, Thanos can find himself really under pressure. Meanwhile, up front, gap is extended to nearly 5 seconds now between Joe and Killian. I don't think there's, unless he does something very stupid, I don't think there's any stopping LET Joe today.
Freddie, you put in the chat, I hate Belgium.
Yep. Well, I can't blame him.
You're not the only one, Freddie. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I love it.
I hate racing as
Bradford's
well.
had a moment, by the way. He's dropped behind Matty. He was 2 seconds on. I think he's had a half spin at that same corner that Despair kept Vade in at. So Bradford down to P7 now. I love that.
Bonds over 3 seconds.
I get why people hate it. So Bonds gets one as FRA.
What the hell?
FRA, that is one of... I recognise the tag, but I don't know who he is. Doesn't matter, you can't interfere in a race and he leaves. If you join in qualifying, there might be another man. I'll tell you what, Matthew's doing a solid job in his hard diets, keeping good pace. Still not sure why he started on them, but he's making it work. Thanos meanwhile came out P10 ahead of Ping. Oh, as Bradford challenging Matty up the outside of the bus stop chicane. Now has the inside line. Oh, close racing between the two. But Matty just hangs on to P6. Darren's in the pits as well now, as is Bond following him in. Going to show hard tyres going on the both of them. This is very early for a medium tyre. Yeah, lap 8 is the earliest. Onto the medium, so it's
Paper string pits.
Paper string pits as well. No, medium tyres going on Bond. Ooh, can he push? I think it's just doable from this one, although they are doing a wing change as well. He loses a lot of time doing that. Hard tyres going on paper string.
He's far ahead of Gangster Al anyway, so...
Yeah, Gangster Al having another difficult race by the look of it. Still running, but down in 13th place at the moment. While the battle for second is still very...
Killian cannot shake Despairs.
Exactly, I was just about to say, that battle for second is hotting up, and Cole is not far
Southern Ping with a 3-second time penalty.
Ooh, we've got a lot of them to go at the moment. 3 seconds for Despair, Panda, Bradford, Banos, Ping, Darren, Bonds, and Richard. A lot of penalties going around. Yeah, this battle for P2 is heating up now. The question is, will anyone blink and go for an undercut?
Bradford with another 3 seconds.
Down in P6. He has got back ahead of Matty now. He uses those medium tyres. And no pit stops. This is what I was saying. If they can extend to maybe do a medium soft strategy, I think Thanos could find himself in a bit of trouble. Thanos really needs to get a motor on now. Really close in on Matty's 4.6 second gap. He needs to show some good pace now and then basically have his defensive shoes on later on. Below the snare on the back of Killian. I don't think Killian's going to have any answer here. As Despair goes on the inside, Killian does break later than Despair. Clear contact. Oh, but Despair just gets the move done.
Despair's got no... Oh no, he's not. I thought he was missing his end plate, but he's not.
No, he's okay. No damage issues for Despair. He gets ahead of Killian. That was very close again, but fair racing. That's from the aggressive slide from Killian, I think, with that very late dive bomb, but nothing malicious done. Despair now into P2, but remember he has the 3-second penalty hovering over his head. Killian Cole still yet get there first. Meanwhile, up front, all was calm in LET Joe as well, as he's managing his very sizable 5.7 second advantage over Despair. He really does look in absolute control of
Ramsey with 3 seconds.
Down 14th, chasing Gangster Al, who's yet to pit. No, he has pit, but he pitted for another set of soft, so he will have to stop again. That's going to hope.
He started on medium, by the way.
He did, so he could theoretically do a soft to soft if he trusts his tyre.
Despair's pits.
Ooh, so Despair into the pits. It's a bit high, as I've got to say. Doesn't want to put himself under risk of being overtaken again. And surely will have to be the hard compound going on. Yes, it is.
Yep.
Hard tyres going on. I just wonder if Cole might just fancy a pop at Killian now that Killian's not going to get through over there. Radford's coming to the pits as well. No, not close enough to Killian. Surely not going to be. No, we'll have to remain behind the Mercedes for now. Where's the spare come out? I'll tell you what, it's not bad for the spare. It's come out ahead of Thanos. 3 seconds clear of Thanos, and only a few seconds back from Matty, who's still yet to stop on those hard tyres. What would Matty do, I wonder?
He'll probably pit towards the end for softs, probably.
Yeah, that sounds like the most reasonable strategy. Is Darren's into the pits again for a set of medium tyres. That's interesting. He only pitted a few laps ago. He must have had some damage somewhere. It's going to drop him right to the back of the field, behind Ramsey and Richard. I tell you what, this is an interesting battle looming here. Then Gangster Al versus Ramsey versus Richard versus Darren for P12.
And Gangster Al just looks completely cut El Rouge.
He did indeed, and yet somehow no penalty. Unless that was the only time he's done it, as Ramsey easily passes him. P12.
Richard with another 3 seconds, and then Bonds gets one as well.
Yeah, multiple warnings. So
Cole is past Killian.
Oh, so where's that happened then?
Down the pit straight.
It must have been a dive bomb at the bus stop chicane, maybe. But I wonder.
No, he did it down the actual straight with DRS.
Oh, fair play. Good move there, Cole. But I just wonder if Killian just might fall in the slot.
Oh, that is Southern Ping backwards.
Oh, Southern Ping backwards. That's he's lost that Blanchemont there, so he must have put a wheel on the grass there to do that. I just wonder. No,
Moved out the way of Bonge.
Cole has held Killian off down the straight, so he hangs on to P2. Southern Ping comes into the pits, taking a very interesting entry onto the grass. It's a bit to comes. So
Tyres are probably red hot though, to be fair.
yeah, probably. I'd say
Probably lit up like a Christmas tree.
interestingly, the spare's already past Matty for P5. He is absolutely flying on these hard tyres, and this is what he needs to do if he's going to make this strategy work. Because I have a feeling the top 4 are going to go for something different. They're probably going to go for the medium soft strategy, which I know is possible. But the spare will have to get a move on now and make these hard tyres work as best as he can.
Needs to get him up to temperature though, to be fair.
Yeah, 7-second gap from.
Getting...
Oh, and we got.
And Darren is
Virtual
just...
safety car deployed now. Will anyone pit? Yes, Joe is reacting. Joe is into the pits. This well, it couldn't be going.
Cole pits as well. Killian pits.
Yeah, they're all going to take advantage of the BSC there.
That's a virtual safety car for a full-on crash.
Soft,
really?
Yeah, soft tires going on Joe. Ooh, 11 laps. Yeah, I think he can do 11 laps on the soft. He might have to look after them. Oh, when I say what, he's getting the best.
Paper stream of drive-through.
Unfortunately for Joe, he's getting the best of that because he is coming straight out just as the BSC ended. Oh, Killian, he might just find.
There's the spares.
Yep, the spares coming round. I tell you what, the VSC has helped Cole. That was great reaction to go onto the VSC, and Cole now into P2 and on a tyre 2 grades quicker than the spare now. But they will have to manage the tyres, so 11 laps is doable.
The spares managed to get ahead of Killian as well, by the way.
He has indeed. Still not pitted. As Darren leads. It's unfortunate for Darren. Very unfortunate indeed. The spare's not out just yet though, because although 11 laps...
Killian, Cole, Matty, and Joe are the only ones not to get a penalty yet.
Yeah, they're doing very well so far. 11 laps is possible on the softs, but they will have to look after them a little bit, and their pace may just drop towards the end. So the spare isn't out of this yet. He can hang on to the back of them. What he is,
Yeah, might be a factor as well.
what he is doing right now is really hurting Killian's race, because Cole coming out ahead of the spare has done one. He's already 2.6 seconds ahead of the spare. So Killian really needs to get past this Alfa Romeo and
Thanks to Alpits.
Yeah, onto the medium charge for Al, down in the last now. About to be lapped, in fact. Yes, indeed he is. Wait, actually, hang on. There's no pit stop going on, but there has to be there. So I wonder if that's actually a drive-through penalty that we haven't seen.
Might be. I know Paper Stream got one.
Yeah, perhaps just didn't.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, just check if they've got drive-throughs, because I didn't see any has out there for Gangster Al.
Yeah, Gangster Al, Despairs, and Paper Stream all got drive-through.
Oh, now that's not good for Despair. And look, he is in the pits. Despair, look, he's come out P7.
Virtual safety car.
And another VFC, that's the Gangster Al, who has lost it at Eau Rouge. Eau Rouge claims another victim. So that's perfect. Despair's raced badly there. He's now pretty much out of the fight for the podium now, unless there's a real safety car anytime soon. Matty's still running on the hard. He gets to stop. Thanos on the hards.
Bonge pits.
Bonge pits. Yeah, he's come out P9.
On none of the set mediums.
Yeah, comes up P9. Big gap though between him and Bradford. He's running P8. Good return for Bradford. Ramsey now in the final points position. Could be an interesting race because we've lost obviously three of the drivers who probably were the point contenders, Darren, Fanta and Freddy Boy. So now
Bonge gets us dives through.
Oh, that's so unfortunate for Bonge. But it does mean there is a point up for grabs between Ramsey, Richard and Southern Pig, who are very close together and all on the hard compound tyre. Southern Pigs that are a little fresher. Could be a one to watch, this one. Up front, it is still very much a dream world for LET Cole. 7 seconds the gap now between him and AMS Cole. I think Cole has been catching him a little bit, but nowhere near enough to even give him any kind of threat. Killian has been seriously hurt by being stuck behind the spare. He's now 3 seconds from Cole. Matty 4th, Thanos 5th, Panda 6th on the soft tyres, so he will be catching Thanos as well. The top 3 drivers and Peachtree down in 13th, yet to get a penalty. I think Bonds will be coming in to serve his drive-through. Yep, in he comes. This could be interesting because Ramsey, Rich and Southern Ping are coming through Blanchimont. I think Bond should still be ahead of them. We'll get a slightly lesser gap. Yeah, Bond. Ooh, actually, I don't know. No, it should be fine actually. He's just coming out now. And yeah, those 3 aren't.
I like his helmet.
He bought Bond. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, it looks very nice. So, it looks like it's all a bit spread out now. Nasty's still yet to stop on those hard tyres. I'm sure he's hoping for a real VSC at this point. He probably could make the stop to last from now if he were to pit. He'd comfortably be out.
7 laps. No, 8 laps? 8 laps on softs?
Oh,
that's doable.
More than doable, to be honest. If you think that the top guys are all trying to do 11 on the soft, and then, well, by the look of that, they're not exactly, you know, backing off either. So I think 8 laps is easily doable, and indeed, in he comes.
There he is.
He might have been listening. So he's coming in then, so Thanos moves up to 4th, Panda up to 5th. They both have 3 seconds, so this is very much a race for position between these two, Thanos and Panda. And with Cole in 2nd, Thanos really can't afford to lose any more points than he already is. And out 6th after his drive-through. As Matty will come out, yeah, he's going to come out. It's going to be quite close with Bradford actually. I think Bradford might just get it. No, he won't, but he might get one to run down past Eau Rouge. Yeah, still some cold tyres for Matt as Bradford eases past. Cole gets his.
Cole finally gets.
Yeah. Ooh, now that could be crucial then. Just look at that gap between him and Killian. It is near enough 3 seconds, so that's just made it a bit trickier for Cole to claim P2. And Joe got his...
Joe now gets one as well.
He gets one as well, but his situation isn't quite as dire. He's still got a handy 8-second gap, so he can honestly afford to get one more and still be comfortably ahead. But it does mean, of course, only 2 drivers yet to get penalties, and Killian, our championship leader, and Stream, who's rather all on his own down in 13th. Battle for P10 still very close between Ramsey and Richard. Southern Ping has dropped off of these two, so it must have had a mistake somewhere. All with 6 seconds off the penalty, so that's very much racing for position between those two as well. That could be an important point for those two as well. Because,
Bond with another 3 seconds.
Ooh, if he keeps doing that, he might just put himself under pressure because Ramsey is 6 seconds behind Bond. Another penalty on Bond's side. Ramsey might just be challenging him for P9. Have to be careful on that one. Closest.
But he probably won't move because of the 3 seconds he has on him as well.
Potentially, yeah. As Matty, I think, is about to put one on Bradford up in turn 1 again. Indeed. So much. Now he's
Bond with another 3 seconds.
God
damn it, Bond.
What did I just say? What did I just say? Bond with another.
Commentator's curse.
It is something I'm saying.
And Cole just locks up.
Ooh, big pop.
Completely.
Yeah. It is something I'm known for.
That won't help his tyre wear.
I am known for a bit of a commentator's curse. I do apologise, Bond. Meanwhile, Killian still. Oh,
Bradford retired.
Where's that happened? Now, wow, that's weird. That is at the end of the DRS straight. What on earth has happened to Bradford there? It's another virtual safety car only. I don't think it's pleasing to some of the drivers. I think we're hoping for real ones. That's a weird place to crash. Because that was at the end of the DRS straight. I can't quite see what's happened there because the car's been cleared. Very, very strange.
Probably gonna go back on his stream and watch it.
What it does mean though is now Randy's now up to P9, Richard now up to P10, so they're both in the points now, with Southern Ping not far behind them in P11. Having a bit of an attrition race, that's what you said. 5 drivers eliminated, I should say.
Bond's with another drive-through.
Oh no, Bond. I tell you what, he's not the only one though. Ramsey, Richard and Southern Ping. They've all got drive-throughs as well.
And he's
had a spin as well. He's dropped it. Go on. Oh my god, this is going...
Kept it though.
He kept it. Yeah, well done on keeping it, but it's gone from bad to worse for Bond. As... Well, I tell you what, it's now going to be a close little fight between 8th, 9th and 10th, all with drive-through penalties. I just wonder if Papers might just find himself maybe at a chance of points again. Because of just by the fact that he has no penalties. That will be an interesting one to watch for the back end of the points. They're all a bit spaced out at the moment now. Closest battle at the moment is still the battle.
Danos and Panda are quite close.
Yeah, Southern Ping and Richard. Well, those two are Bonds coming to their drive-throughs. Bradley stays out for another lap. You can do that.
Richard pits, Southern Ping pits.
Yeah, that's to serve drive-through penalties. Randy still has a drive-through of his own to serve. I presume he'll serve it this lap. Maybe just wants to get a bit of open space. Be interested to see if he can keep Richard behind.
Killian's in that 3 second gap, by the way.
He is
close to it.
He is very close between Cole and Killian. Killian, only him and Paperstream, the only drivers without penalties. As it stands as well, Paperstream is doing enough to jump Ping, but not Richard. Richard has 6 seconds, Ping has 9 seconds, so wouldn't quite be points to Paperstream, but still a few laps to go. Anything could change. Paperstream, meanwhile, does have Joe coming up to lap him very soon. despite the penalty, Joe really still doesn't look to be troubled in any way, shape or form.
Joe's led every lap, isn't he?
Adam off. Gets his first penalty and then goes off into the wall. And unfortunately,
I'm gonna speak with Kieran about that one because he was actually moving out the way for Joe.
Oh,
that penalty. So I'm gonna speak with Kieran about that one because that's BS in my opinion.
Well, unfortunately, either way, he's got damage on his right end plate. So either way, it's ruined his race, and he's actually just keeping out the way of everyone now. Doing the right thing, to be fair, but unfortunately, I think that's Page's race over.
I'm going to speak to Kieran, because...
Isn't it ghosted anyway? You don't have to, technically, as long as you don't,
yeah, but...
as long as you don't purposely stay ahead of them. Strange. Meanwhile, Mandy's just served his drive-through penalty, and I'll tell you what, he's made good use of that lap, actually. In the clear air, he's now miles ahead of Richard, whereas they were very, very close.
Bond just passed him, though.
But look at the penalty difference: 12 seconds for Bond, 6 seconds for Ramsey. As it stands, Ramsey would take P8 away from Bond. So Bond will have to get a move on.
Panda's close to Thanos.
That's the closest battle on track. Thanos versus Panda, both with Panda has 6 seconds of penalty actually, so Thanos maybe could afford to let him go here. Just try to hang on to him if he can, because he has less penalties than Panda does. And it's the closest battle though, no one else really that close, but a yellow flag, it's Bond again. Bond is spun again, same corner, 2-1. And he's just recovering, and Ramsey has just taken...
Oh, them two have just hit.
Oh,
Thanos
contact between Thanos and Panda. Oh, and Thanos into the wall. Oh, and he's returning very dangerously. Very dangerously.
Ghosted.
Thank God for that. That's all I can say to that. As the spare takes P5 away from him, and I think that's going to have to be a pit stop, and that could put Matty up to P6. Oh, that is not what Thanos needed.
Thanos has got damage.
Yeah, serious damage. Killian.
And Killian finally gets his first penalty.
Which takes the pressure off of AMS Cole now, because now he is safer. So that means everyone now officially has at least one penalty, and goes to prove that Belgium really is a tough track. Gorilla in the chat saying if he clips it, he can remove it, but if he doesn't, there's nothing we can do.
I clearly saw it though, so...
Yeah. That's unfortunate for Paper String, because one way or another it's absolutely ruined any chance of points he had. He's now 55 seconds off P11. So Bond has got back past Ramsey, but with the difference in penalties, he's not just going to lose to Richard as well. And he could be off a P8 here. Oh. Drooling, there's no other word for it, drooling back to the pits after contact with Panda. 2 AMS brothers knots. As Bond gets another penalty, that's really not going to help him, and now that puts him in danger of being passed by Southern King as well, who has one less penalty than Bond. It's going from bad to worse for the Williams driver. He's looked so good in the previous 3 races, but it's just not been his day today. Flag, another yellow flag, it's Ramsey! Ramsey has lost it at the chicane in sector 2.
Richard for another 3 seconds.
Ooh. So it looks as though this race is really taking...
Spared with another 3 seconds.
Yep, but has a fairly comfortable 60-second gap over Matty, not really being troubled. It does take any chance he had of passing Panda away though, for now anyway. It does look as though those tyres are finally just starting to come back towards the spare. A bit too late, sadly, and the drive-through definitely didn't help him. But yeah, they're all fairly spaced out now, as both Richard and Randy in the pits, both getting wind changes, I think. Oh no wing change for Ramsey, just a tyre change. Soft tyres going on both.
Fastest lap probably.
Potentially. It moves Southern Ping up to P9.
Bond with another 3 seconds.
Oh my god, he's pushing the limits of what's legal here. 18 seconds now. Any more than that, he could be facing a potential disqualification. Wait, didn't you? Wait, no, didn't you say 15 seconds? Isn't there a rule that 15 seconds or more is disqualification? Am I thinking of something else? No, I'm thinking of
no, it's 20. It's like 20 odd seconds.
No. I was thinking of another league I recently commentated on where if you've got 15 more seconds of penalties, you will automatically disqualified.
Yeah, it's 30 seconds. We go off the actual games system.
No, that's fair enough. I was thinking of the wrong league then.
Driver of the day.
Driver of the day. I mean, Joe's kind of the obvious answer, but is the only other one that's.
I think he's led every lap actually.
He has not looked troubled at all this whole race. I mean, it's been absolute dominance by Joe. It could be a Grand Slam as well. The only other driver that really comes to mind is AMS Matty. Started 50th, on course for P6. He's run a very, very strong race.
Thanos pits.
So for me, it's between Joe and Matty. Cole and Killian have not been perfect, despite both being on the podium. Southern Pin, too many penalties. Richard and Manzi have had their moments. Yeah, to me, it's between Joe's absolute dominant display, or Matty's courageous fight up to 15th place. One of those two, I'm not quite sure which yet. Chat, what do you guys think? Should it be Joe or Matty? Just make my decision for me.
Karen, get your opinion.
Hello.
Driver of the day.
We are on to the final lap meanwhile. Joe still with a very comfortable 7.3 second gap over Cole, who is starting to be caught a little bit by Killian, but unfortunately,
Kieran went Matty.
Yeah. Like, I suppose it could be.
I'm going to say Matty.
I'm going to go
really
around
well
well.
today.
I will say Joe still deserves absolute praise for his absolute dominance, but he hasn't exactly had to fight, whereas Matty's had a few good tussles with the likes of Bradford. And,
Brad.
Yeah, Bradford's been his main adversary. So yeah, I think I'll go with that. We'll give Matty the driver of the day, because I think Joe is going to take every other accolade today, because he had been absolutely flawless. You can tell he's just coasting now, to be honest. As he now comes into the final sector. He does have a racing point ahead of him, Southern Ping, but I don't think that's going to trouble him. Southern Ping is on the points. He's going to be finished with P9. I think Richard will claim the final point in P10. Ramsey's 10 seconds behind him. And Bond, I think, is just doing enough to hang on to P8 despite the multitude of penalties he has. But here it comes, and across the line, it's been a dominant display, and LET Joe takes a very, very convincing win on the Belgian Grand Prix. AMS Cole finishes second, Killian finishes third, still keeps his podium streak going.
Fastest lap?
Fastest lap is Joe, 44.2. So it is a Grand Slam for Joe. And I tell you what, this was close. This fair was really catching Panda towards the end, but nevertheless a very good debut for Panda. P4 just off the podium. This fair, what could have been had not for that drive-through penalty, we'll never know. Meanwhile, driver of the day coming. Matty has driven a very, very good race to finish P6. Very nicely done. Thanos is just coasting at this point. I'm not quite sure what Thanos is doing. He's getting another penalty. And Bond is catching him very quickly. I mean, Bond has 12 more seconds worth of penalty, but only he's going to take 7 away. So the 10th, 11th, 12th were lapped. Richard does take a point though. So well done to SV Richard and Ferrari. Well earned point for him. He raced very well with there. So I think he's going to take P9. I think Bond is going to take P8. And Thanos, I think, will take a very disappointed P7. Indeed it is. Ooh, and takes his wheel on at the end. Bond finishes 8th.
Bond normally does that as well.
Yeah, he does. Bond finishes 8th, and Southern Ping finishes in P9. Well, what's the race? What's the race?
Better get the other three in.
Yeah, let's go. The drivers in. Driver of the day. The game said it.
Cole,
AMS
Killian.
Matty. I think I'm going to agree with him. AMS Matty, you get my nod for driver of the day. But here's the man who's been arguably driver of the weekend. LET Joe. He's looked absolutely unchallenged throughout the whole Grand Prix. What a confident display by LET Joe. The two AMS boys, Cole and Killian, they round out the podium. Cole extends his gap to Thanos as well, because the Thanos is a disastrous race. Killian keeps the podium streak going as well with P3. Maybe missed the boy not to take P2, but still, his gap to Cole only shrink by 3 points to 93 points. Panda, as I said, great debut for him, finishing P4. Ella Despair finishes P5. Drive-through penalty did hinder him, but he was probably on the wrong strategy anyway, so still, I think he'll still be happy with that. Driver of the Day awards to AMS Matt in P6. Thanos will be very disappointed to not make any progress on the field. He finishes where he started, P7. Bond finishes P8 despite 18 seconds worth of penalties. Southern Ping P9 with 12 seconds worth of penalties, but untrolled by SV Richard, who was lapped, but still takes a crucial final point for Ferrari. Ranzik finishes 11th, Paper Street 12th, and they were the last of finishers. Those at DNF, Bradford, Gangster Al, Darren, AMS Fanta, and Freddy Boy. And I'll hand it over to you for the podium questions.
Thanks for that. You got the Grand Slam, by the way, Joe. I think. Because you led every lap, didn't you?
He did.
Yeah, so... Yeah, discuss after the race, mate. That is the Belgian Grand Prix, guys. First, we'll move on to P1. Joe, you had a dominating qualifying. Let's be honest, broke the quali track record in real life. And then you just pretty much cruised the entire way through the race, didn't you? Just give us a few words on...
Well, first off, I just felt like qualifying, it was probably my best I've ever really done. I was actually surprised I actually done that lap, and then when the race started, I felt really good coming off. And then I was surprised by Killian's pace, to be honest, but then I realised he was having a different setup or something, so yeah. And then my tyres really got fucked at the end, so I just had to cruise my way around the track there.
That it?
Oh yeah.
Next we'll move on to P2. Cole, you had some great battles. You and Killian mainly, and Despairs as well. Did quite a good lap in qualifying, but it wasn't enough for pole. Just give us a few words on how you think your race went.
Me and Killian straight off the pace, and we would both learning no line. I'm involved in my first running quali. On Q3, I'm involved in my last run, my first run, and it was just all down to the one that bit cautious and mix of still learning no line and pressure that I totally won that was. And the race, I got hit under Despair with no one, which got Killian ahead of me. Just couldn't cover off turn 1, and then after that, I had to recover. I didn't really have biggest pace. It was but it was a decent race.
Still picked up decent points for Williams though. Killian, next we'll go on to Killian. Your podium streak still continues, but didn't go really your way today, did it? Just give us a few words on your qualifying, your race?
Today I have two complaints. That is it. I'm really surprised that I was this far up on no line. If I'm being honest, I thought I was going to be proper midfield, not keeping this podium streak going at all. But first complaint, I don't think I should have 3 seconds. The game gave me a warning for crossing the exit line when I never.
Corner cut warnings.
So I've got a pen from 2 warnings then.
I got forced off by despair, got 1 corner and given a pen. That's my 3 seconds removed because I'll get off stream.
Hope mine gets taken off as well. And then my second complaint, Brad, you killed my brake marker boards.
Oh,
That is disgraceful.
Yeah. He did the same for me. I didn't know he did it, so I wasn't going to say anything. But no,
The
I know
one
who did
brake,
it.
literally, it's the one brake marker board we need at this track for Lake-Com, and you killed it. That is, disgraceful.
I ended up using the ones on the right, but it was making me miss.
Yeah,
like,
it was putting me off.
It was
But-
a miss pretty much for me.
Overall, good race. On to Italy, where even more brake marker boards will be killed, unfortunately. But I'm happy. Podium streak continues. The points gap at the top stayed the same, kinda. But decent enough.
Yeah, Monza's going to be pretty much a downforce track. Pretty much teamwork is probably going to be needed there. Let's be honest.
Yep.
But yeah, that has been the Belgian Grand Prix, guys. Monza is next week. Yeah, Monza's next week. So till then, we'll see you next week. Thanks for Lightshock for helping me again.
You're welcome.
And that has been us. So goodbye.